turned down the NBA offer for the 3-point contest. That was the whole thing. We did turn that down, but you made good on your word. You wanted to show up for Indiana in the WNBA All-Star game. What went into that decision-making process?
Yeah, well, I mean, they obviously really wanted me and Sabrina to do it, maybe a couple other people as well. And I was just like, well, I mean, that would make the one here a little, like, just not as fun. So, and it's in your own city. Like, I was going to do it no matter what. And I wanted my first one to be here.
Caitlyn Clark just walked straight into the Lions' den and owned it without even flinching for a second in one of her boldest interviews ever. The WNBA's biggest star sat down with Sue Bird live at All-Star Weekend. And the second she stepped on stage as a special guest on the A Touch More podcast, the whole vibe flipped instantly. From shutting down wild NBA rumors with blunt honesty, to revealing how she really feels about being turned into a viral meme, to even dropping some sneaky but sizzling shade at her own coach, Caitlyn was completely unfiltered. This wasn't some boring, PR-polished press moment. This was raw, fiery Caitlyn Clark letting everyone see her real side. She was sharp, funny, and bold, with every answer sounding like it could spark headlines the moment it left her mouth. If you thought you knew Caitlyn Clark, think again. Because this was a version of her that fans never get to see. And now we're about to dive into every shocking, jaw-dropping, and drama-packed moment from this wild interview. Because trust, it was pure chaos in the best way. You seriously don't want to miss a single second of this tea? She might not have suited up for the All-Star game, but let's be real. Caitlyn was the true face of the entire weekend. In the heart of Indiana, the city she's practically claimed as her own, she became the unofficial queen of the WNBA's biggest party.
First, you know, you have to remember, like, social media is just like such a false perception of reality. And even for myself, like, you don't always realize that at times. Like, it's not the real world. And, you know, when you're in a position of, you know, people are going to love you, people aren't going to like you. But I think when I show up to arenas, those are the moments that, like, really remind me of, like, how many people are really there supporting you and loving you. Like, the little boys and the little girls, those are the people that are on social media, like, caring about every decision you make or every comment you make. But also at the same time, I feel like I just try to show up every single day and be myself and approach it that way and just be authentically me.
And she owned every single second of it. From giant Nike billboards hanging across the city to non-stop media appearances filled with flashing cameras, Caitlyn Clark's face was everywhere that weekend. Even though she couldn't suit up and play, she stepped into the spotlight with total confidence, owning the moment like only she can. She reminded everybody that she's not just a beast on the court, she's the future face of the entire league off it too. Caitlyn made it her mission to turn this All-Star weekend into something unforgettable. She showed love to Indiana's behind-the-scenes crew, hyped up the fans who've been rocking with her since day one, and proved just how much it meant for her to be there for the city she now proudly calls her second home, even without rocking a jersey. But when you're Caitlyn Clark, every single move gets dissected under a microscope. And in the next part of her sit-down, she gets brutally honest about all of it. The non-stop noise, the heavy criticism, and the unreal pressure that comes with being one of the most talked-about athletes alive. She opened up about how social media can twist reality into something completely fake, but then shared the moments that actually keep her grounded. Like seeing little kids in the crowd, eyes wide, totally inspired by her every move. Those are the moments that really matter, the quiet ones that never make the highlight reel but show the real Caitlyn Clark shining through. She gave fans a glimpse of a side they almost never get to see. Sure, everyone knows the fiery, locked-in killer on the court, but ask her teammates, they'll tell you she's the hilarious jokester, the one cracking jokes, keeping the locker room loose, and making sure nobody takes life too seriously. It's the perfect reminder that what we see on TV is only a small piece of who Caitlyn Clark really is. The rest of Caitlyn lives in those group chats full of inside jokes.
Oh no, you got jokes in the group chat.
Yeah, group chat gets
I'm like,
fire.
sometimes I'm like, this motherfucker is a troll.
But I don't know, I feel like the more you get to know your teammates or your coworkers or whoever it is, like, you just become more comfortable and, you know, you kind of understand them and they understand you. But I feel like anytime, like, you're in your private life or with your family, like, you're truly just yourself at the end of the day. But I don't think it's like a like coping as much. I feel like it's just more so like a comfortability thing and like building that trust within your locker room first and foremost, more than anything.
In late night hotel hallway laughs and during practice when she's the heart and soul of the team in ways the cameras never catch. But don't get it twisted. Just because she's playful doesn't mean she's soft. Caitlyn opened up about how she flips the switch between every version of herself: the locked-in athlete, the loyal teammate, the loving daughter, and the public figure constantly under a microscope. She doesn't see these as fake sides. She sees them as her power. That's how she keeps her peace, brushes off the critics, and stays grounded while the world debates her every move like she's on trial. It was one of those rare, vulnerable moments from a massive star, real, raw, and powerful without even trying. Every superstar has that one moment when the spotlight feels completely different, like everything changes in an instant. For Caitlyn Clark, it hasn't been just one moment, it's been a whole series of them. From the wild day Travis Scott randomly blasted her on his Instagram story back in college, to that unforgettable 41-point triple-double in the Final Four, her rise has been packed with jaw-dropping plays and viral moments that no one in the sports world could ignore. In the interview, Caitlyn revealed that the legendary Louisville game wasn't just another W. It was the night the entire world finally woke up to her greatness. But the craziest part? It wasn't the flashing cameras or non-stop headlines. It was seeing her childhood idols react in real time. We're talking LeBron James, Steph Curry, athletes she grew up admiring, suddenly shouting her out like she had officially arrived on the biggest stage. That kind of recognition doesn't just validate your skills, it flips your whole world upside down and proves you've crossed over into true superstardom.
The moment I had with Stewie when I made that one over her, like, I don't know how I made that shot. Like, I barely got it over her fingertips. Like, Stewie's one of the longest players in the league.
Like 8 feet with her arms. Yeah.
And I just started laughing, and then Stewie was laughing because we were both like, wait, what? How'd that go in?
How do we feel about butter,
This is
Caitlyn?
me made out of butter. So I don't know if anybody is from Iowa in here, but if you are, oh, sweet, we got a couple.
It sounded like one.
The Iowa State.
That was just 2 claps by one person.
A couple.
Yeah.
The Iowa State Fair is one of the best fairs in the country, but
I believe
they're known for making a cow out of butter. And a couple years ago, they decided to sculpt me out of butter. You can see the cow's nose over there to the left, and that.
Even with all the chaos and fame, Caitlyn still carries herself with that same wide-eyed wonder that makes people connect to her so easily. And if this interview made one thing clear, it's that she's officially done with the fake stories the media loves to push about her. In one moment that had the whole crowd buzzing, Caitlyn went straight at one of the wildest rumors floating around, that she supposedly turned down the NBA three-point contest because she didn't want to shoot off a rack. Her reaction? A mix of sarcasm, disbelief, and pure humor. She laughed it off but didn't hesitate to call out the media for making up nonsense just to create drama. It was one of those raw, unfiltered moments where you realize Caitlyn Clark isn't just here to play the game. She's taking full control of her own story, too. Then came the playful jab that had everybody cracking up. As she shifted from killing rumors to talking mindset, Caitlyn broke down her now iconic Liberty game.
First and foremost, you're in your second year. You're already getting an All-Star game, so you get to host, which is amazing. Obviously, we'll just say the obvious. We're all very bummed that you can't participate.
Me too.
Yeah, I know you're bummed as well. But you can still enjoy it. Yeah. I think Indiana so far has done an incredible job.
Basically giving a live masterclass on what it means to be in the zone. 2 quick buckets? That's the green light. 3, she's pulling heat checks like crazy, whether coach likes it or not. And with that sly grin, Caitlyn slipped in a cheeky jab, teasing that not every shot she fires up has Coach Steph's full blessing, and the whole room exploded in laughter. It was such a classic Caitlyn moment. Funny, confident, and totally unafraid to keep it real no matter who's watching. She made it crystal clear that she trusts her instincts completely. Whether she's lighting up defenders on the court or calling out ridiculous headlines in front of the entire country, Caitlyn Clark keeps proving she's just as sharp mentally as she is deadly with the ball in her hands. And only in Iowa could a basketball superstar end up turned into butter art. Caitlyn laughed as she told the surreal story of finding out she'd been sculpted entirely out of butter for the Iowa State Fair, sitting proudly right next to the legendary butter cow like hometown royalty. As wild as it sounds, for Caitlyn it felt like the ultimate full circle moment. A tribute to her roots, her fame, and the bond she still has with her home state.
Up. Whisper, whisper, whisper.
Ooh. Oh. Why did everybody say it like that?
What were you
whisper then?
actually saying? Don't lie to us.
Honestly, like, I love football and I know a lot about football, so I was like telling her like why they threw a flag or like, but in the best way. Like,
She doesn't know a lot about
I don't
football.
even know everything, like, so I was just explaining things, but yeah, that was really fun.
She spoke about it with so much pride, even sharing how a local sculptor and her daughters have kept the buttery tradition alive for years. And now Caitlyn herself has literally become a permanent part of Iowa history. But that wasn't the only viral moment that had fans losing their minds. Blink in early January, and you might have missed one of the most shared snapshots of the entire year. Caitlyn Clark leaning in and whispering something into Taylor Swift's ear during a Chiefs playoff game. The internet went absolutely wild with theories about what was said. But Caitlyn finally set the record straight. Turns out, she was just calmly breaking down why a flag had been thrown on the field. Her football smarts meeting Taylor's curiosity in a moment that looked way more dramatic than it really was. Still, for Caitlyn, that night was unforgettable. As a lifelong Chiefs fan, she was buzzing to watch Travis Kelce dominate while chilling in the same suite as Taylor Swift.
Shot 30 times a game, so I always thought I was on a heater. Some nights I was, some nights I wasn't, but I would say more so professionally, like that Liberty game. I feel like as a shooter, like when you see like 2 or 3 go in, especially like for me, like if I have 2 back-to-back in a row, like I'm probably gonna launch a third that maybe isn't advised by Steph, but like I gotta get it up. And then if the third goes in, like you're just hot. I think as a shooter, like your confidence just builds and builds and builds. It's just coming off your hand better. The rim looks big.
Her cheeks were bright red from the freezing cold, but the energy in that box was unreal. It felt like the perfect mix of sports, pop culture, and pure joy all crashing together, and Caitlyn handled it like the superstar she is. And of course, every big-time athlete eventually gets that meme-worthy moment the internet never lets die. And for Caitlyn, it came from one hilarious freeze frame during a heated battle with Atlanta's Ryan Howard. In real time, Caitlyn was locked in, standing her ground and letting her opponent know she wasn't backing down one bit. But that one perfectly timed freeze frame,
I think the one person that like really like made me starstruck probably was LeBron, because like LeBron was a person that I grew up like absolutely loving. Like he was like my Michael Jordan because I was younger, and like that's the person that I always looked up to. And so I'd say him, even throughout. And Steph, even those like at the end of my college career, they began to like comment on some things as I was ending my career and then now professionally. But I feel like I still have a lot of those moments, and it doesn't always feel real because, you know, I feel very lucky and fortunate.
her expression was so unintentionally funny that it instantly went viral and became yet another iconic Caitlyn Clark internet moment. Instead of dodging the topic or getting defensive, Caitlyn just laughed it off with total self-awareness.
I think it's amazing. Like, you wouldn't want it the other way. So you just enjoy it. And they've put so much time, effort, and money. Like when we found out we were getting All-Star shortly after All-Star last year in Phoenix, like they've been working on this around the clock. There's been so many different committees and so many different people that will never get credit for what they've been able to do and just the logistics behind it to make it amazing, not only for the people that are going to go to the three-point competition, skills competition, or the game, but like just the people that are coming into the city to like be around and just, you know, see everything that's being put on and just enjoy the vibes. I think is absolutely incredible.
She cracked jokes about her messy ponytail, her over-the-top facial expression, and how that freeze frame made her look way goofier than she really is. It turned into one of the most relatable parts of the whole interview, proof that even the biggest stars can become memes, and Caitlyn is totally fine with it. With a wink and a playful grin, she owned the moment like a total champ. But the funny throwbacks didn't stop there. Way before she became a basketball superstar, Caitlyn was tearing it up on the soccer field, yellow cards and all. She lit up when an old photo popped up of her mid-sprint in a high school tournament, cleats flying, charging full speed at the goalie without a second thought. She didn't score on that play, but she definitely left her mark, not just on the goal, but on anyone watching her fearless style. Caitlyn even shared that this wild game happened right after she'd come back from playing with Team USA's U16 squad. And in classic Caitlyn fashion, she jumped straight in, literally. What really stood out was how much she loved her gear back then. Her face lit up as she talked about her all-white Nike cleats, saying she treasured them like they were her very first pair of Jordans. She even laughed about her overly aggressive style of play, fully admitting that defense was never her strongest skill, but she was all about making big plays.
So like my freshman year of college, like when we played UConn in the Sweet 16, we ended up losing in San Antonio. Like I remember Travis Scott had posted me on his story. And I like got back to my phone and like everyone was texting me. I'm like, yeah, I have no idea why he did that. Like, I'm like, that's super cool. But yeah. But I would say like probably when we beat Louisville my junior year to go to the Final Four in Seattle. I had like 41. I think I had 41, like 10 and 12 or something like that. But that was like the moment I really felt like things were really starting to change.
No matter the sport, one thing's always been crystal clear. Caitlyn Clark has been competitive, fearless, and intense since day one. Whether she was rocking the Team USA jersey or throwing down in a heated high school rivalry, she's always brought that same fire that makes her stand out. From butter sculptures to clutch buzzer beaters, Caitlyn Clark's All-Star Weekend interview delivered everything fans wanted. Raw, funny, and totally unfiltered moments that showed sides of her most people never get to see. She didn't shy away from the hard questions. She stepped into the spotlight with pure confidence and reminded everyone that she's way more than just a headline. She's human, real, and living her dream out loud. Whether she's splashing logo threes, learning to navigate fame, or geeking out over football with Taylor Swift, Caitlyn just keeps proving why the world can't stop talking about her, on and off the court. And if this sit-down proved anything, it's that we've only seen the beginning of who Caitlyn Clark really is. She's sharp, funny, and unapologetically herself. And that's exactly why she's impossible to ignore. If you love this deep dive into the real Caitlyn Clark, drop a CC Superstar in the comments to show your love and tell us your favorite moment from this wild interview. Don't forget to hit like, smash that subscribe button, and turn on all notifications so you never miss the next big update. Share this with your crew, and we'll see you on the next one.